nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay here with me. I know you've got somewhere to go, but won't you make yourself at home and stay with me? And don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you. Sun ain't nearly on the rise. We still got the moon and stars above. Underneath the velvet skies, love is all that matters. Won't you stay with me? Don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, and no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you. See the morning light, color in your face so dreamily. So don't you go and say goodbye. You can lay your worries down and stay with me. Don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, there's no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you.
Magic 92.5 WGHQ. Great songs, magic memories.
Wake up, New York. You smell that? Crispy, salty, a little sweet. Got that aroma that makes you want to do a little shimmy. Smells like money in the bank. Wake up and smell the wind with bacon. The new scratch-off game from the New York Lottery. It's your chance to win up to $1 million. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly.
You love someone with autism with all your heart, and you want nothing more than to unlock that person's potential, to help your loved one live a fulfilling, productive life, to give that wonderful person every opportunity to shine. And here at Anderson Center for Autism, so do we. Our educational, vocational, residential, and recreational programs draw students and residents with autism from all over the country. Their families know how dedicated we are to transforming lives. They know that our team is both highly trained and deeply compassionate. They know that our commitment to delivering individualized, evidence-based therapies in a warm, nurturing environment makes all the difference. Are you ready to transform life for your loved one with autism? Reach out today. Learn more at AndersonCenterForAutism.org. That's AndersonCenterForAutism.org.
Calling all garlic lovers, the Kiwanis Club of Saugerties presents the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival, Saturday and Sunday, October 2nd and 3rd at the Cantine Field in Saugerties. 2 days of delicious garlic food, garlic farmers, packaged food, and craft vendors. Discount tickets available through October 1st at all Adams Fairacre Farm stores, as well as Smith Hardware, Sawyer Savings Bank, and M&T Bank in Saugerties. Follow the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival on Facebook and Instagram. For the safety of all, the event will be following current Department of Health and CDC guidelines.
Sponsored by Sawyer Savings Bank, M&T Bank, and Sunshine Teas, with help from Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
I'm Jesse King. On this week's 51%, we discuss the growing burnout among healthcare workers.
We're to the point now where people are saying to me, Candy, it's not about the money anymore. I can't do it. I need my time off to recharge.
We also speak with the new chief of surgery at a major hospital in New York State this week on 51%. 51% is a show about women's issues and experiences, but really it's for everyone. We interview women from all walks of life and highlight relevant topics that affect us all. Listen for 51% on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. right here on Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
Did you know 22 Americans die each day waiting for organ transplants, most of them for kidneys? The good news is that MatchingDonors.com is helping to change that. MatchingDonors.com is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that links organ donors with people in desperate need of kidneys and other transplants. And now you don't need to donate a kidney to save a life. You can donate your boat, car, or real estate, with 100% of the proceeds going to help save the lives of people needing organ transplants. Visit MatchingDonors.com or call 800-385-0422.
Magic 92.5 WGHQ with more music and memories coming up after this news and information update.
A warrant for laundry. I'm Steve Greenfield in the Magic 92.5 WGHQ newsroom. Police are issuing an arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in Gabby Petito's death. Wednesday, a federal grand jury in Wyoming indicted Laundrie on charges he used her credit card following her disappearance. Brian has been missing for more than a week after returning home from a cross-country road trip without Gabby last month. Petito's body was found over the weekend. Derek Chauvin filing an appeal after being convicted earlier this year for the murder of George Floyd. The former Minneapolis police officer turned in the paperwork to the Court of Appeals on Thursday, the last day he could have done so. In it, he detailed 14 issues he had with his trial, including alleged prejudicial prosecutorial misconduct committed by the state. New York Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Zucker will be stepping down from his position after nearly 7.5 years on the job, Governor Hochul reporting.
He has agreed to stay on until the position will be filled. He understands that in this time I've wanted to take the first 45 days to assemble a new team going forward.
She added that she agrees with his decision and went on to thank him for his service. Hochul noting the doctor's hard work throughout the pandemic and says now he has other opportunities he plans to pursue. County Executive Pat Ryan reporting he is all about expanding business in Ulster, but not at the expense of taxpayers. It comes as the county's Industrial Development Agency moves to approve proposed tax breaks for the Romeo Kia car dealership. Ryan went on social media saying he would not sign off on the deal, adding he's happy to sit down with the dealership and talk about other financial options as businesses recover from the pandemic. And officials in the Twin Counties are concerned over the spotted lanternfly, which is making its way towards Columbia and Greene. The invasive species, which is a detriment to plants and agriculture alike, has already landed in Ulster, Orange, and Rockland counties. It's suggested that if anyone sees the insect, which has the brown and red wings with black spots, they stomp it out and report it to the Department of Environmental Conservation. The news is sponsored by News Nation. Dan Abrams and his live PD sidekick, Styx, return in a new program. Dan Abrams Live premieres Monday at 8/7 Central on News Nation. I'm Steve Greenfield, and now you're up to date from the Magic 92.5 WGHQ newsroom.
Good morning, I'm Steve Williams. Here's the Magic 92.5 WGHQ AccuWeather forecast for Ulster and Dutchess counties. For today, some morning rain and clouds will give way to some sun later on. High today 74. Clear to partly cloudy for tonight, low 51. Sunny, terrific day tomorrow, the high 73. And then sunny Sunday, the high 69. Monday, partly sunny, the high again at 69. That's your Hudson Valley AccuWeather forecast. Now it's time for more great songs and magic memories right here on Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. Got out of town on a boat going to Southern Islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papa Ete. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. You got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way. In a noisy bar in Avalon, I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I've had fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love can endure, and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are a dying. And my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags are a-flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. And you know it will. Tested, and we never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross,
now serving a better variety of great songs for Rhinebeck, Port Ewan, and Rosendale. From Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for the dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for the lime. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she called the doctor, woke him up and said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. Now let me get this straight. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you called the doctor, woke him up, said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. You put the lime in the coconut, you drink them both together. Put the lime in the coconut and you feel better. Put the lime in the coconut, drink them both up. Put the lime in the coconut and call me in the morning. Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for the dime. His sister had another one, she paid for the lime. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. And put the lime in the coconut, she called it Dr. Coconut. She said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve this bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, now let me get this straight. You put the lime in the coconut, you drink and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drink and poured up. Put a lime in the coconut, you drink and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you're such a silly woman. Put a lime in the coconut and drink them both together. Put the lime in the coconut, then you feel better. Put the lime in the coconut, drink them both down. Put the lime in the coconut and call me in the morning. Ooh.
tried to turn this love around. I don't wanna give up, but baby, it's time I had 2 feet on the ground. Can you release me? Can you release me? Now that you're gone, I can't help myself from wondering. Oh, if you'd have come down from your high, would have been alright. Release me. Can you release me? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You knew it was time to just let go. 'Cause we wanna be free. But somehow it's just not that easy. Come on, darling. Hear me, darling. 'Cause you're a waste of time for me. I'm trying to make you see. But baby, you just got to release me. Release me. Release me. I'm not going back to you anymore. Finally, my weakened heart is healing, though very slow. So stop coming around my door, 'cause you're not gonna find what you're looking for. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. You knew it was time to just let go. 'Cause we wanna be free. But somehow it's just not that easy. Oh, 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 baby. Come on, darling. Now hear me, darling. 'Cause you're a waste of time for me. I'm trying to make you see. But baby, you just got to release me. What is this power you got on me? What is this power? What is this power? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You knew it was time to just let go. 'Cause we wanna be free. But somehow it's just not that easy. Oh, 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 baby. Come on, darling. Now hear me, darling. 'Cause you're a waste of time for me. I'm trying to make you see that, baby, you just got to release me. 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 Release me.
Thanks for listening to the biggest and best music variety anywhere in the Hudson Valley. It's from Magic 92.5 WGHQ. You know, local radio on AM and FM is free for you to enjoy every day. And the amazing music variety here on Magic 92.5 WGHQ is created by local people just for you. Radio listening this year is stronger than ever. 92% of Americans listen to radio stations like this one for several hours every week. That's why we're an important resource for Hudson Valley businesses who want to reach Hudson Valley people. Businesses that advertise with us repeatedly tell us that radio works, and our marketing teams can also help make you a dominant presence in the digital environment. Call 845-340-1555 or email magicsales@wghq.fm. And stick around, because there's more of the most amazing variety of great songs and magic memories coming up right here on Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
Storm is getting closer. Glad we got that generator last year.
That's right, honey. We got backup power.
Good thing. Lights just went out.
No worries. Just wait for it. Wait? Why didn't the generator kick in? Oh, it's out of propane. That would be my bad. Guess I should have backed up my backup plan, huh?
Hi, I'm Rich Mullerelli from Star Gas Products. When the power is out, a propane generator will keep your appliances humming, your lights on, and the refrigerator cold. So the last thing you want is to be having problems with it during a storm or an emergency. Some key things to remember. Find a reputable generator supplier with a maintenance contract to service your generator. Exercise your engine like you would your car by running it on occasion for 15 minutes. And subscribe to auto delivery so you don't run out of propane when you need it the most. Star Gas Products wants to help you stay safe in your home this season. Dependable deliveries, dependable service. For a free estimate on your generator installation or auto delivery, see stargasproducts.com.
If you haven't noticed, it seems that these days it's becoming harder and harder to get people to agree on pretty much anything. Everybody has a different opinion on just about everything. Luckily, there's still one thing that we can all happily agree on, and that's the great taste of Smoky Rock Barbecue in Rhinebeck, the original New York-style barbecue. The best meats, the best spices, and the best way to bring your family and friends together. Let's all come together at Smoky Rock Barbecue in Rhinebeck. That's the American way. Reservations requested.
Your health is a priority and medical appointments are necessary. Hi, this is Unity Joe at Unity Ambulette. Our non-emergency medical transportation service helps those who are at high risk or have limited mobility to get to their next medical appointment. Our trained staff is reliable and courteous. We take all the precautionary measures set forth by the CDC. To schedule a ride to your next doctor's appointment, medical testing, physical therapy, or dialysis appointment, see UnityAmbuletteCorp.com. And remember, our community makes us unity.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's MatchingDonors.com. MatchingDonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you have someone in need of an organ transplant, visit MatchingDonors.com. Home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. MatchingDonors.com.
Magic 92.5 WGHQ. Great songs, magic memories.
Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer.
If they say why, tell them that it's human nature.
They say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be.
You're the life that breathes in me. You're the biggest part of me.
It's your music variety from Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
Just look at you sitting there. You never looked better than tonight, and it'd be so easy to tell you I'd stay, like I've done so many times.
I was so sure this would be the night. You closed the door and wanted to stay with me, and it'd be so easy to tell you I'd stay, like I've done so many times.
Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll always take you in. Just when you think you've really changed him, he'll leave you again. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll break you every time. Put out the light. Just hold on before we say goodbye.
Now it's morning and the phone rings, and you say you've gotta get your things together. You just gotta leave before you change your mind.
And if you knew what I was thinking, girl, I'd turn around. If you would just ask me one more time. Don't fall in love with a dreamer,
'Cause he'll always take you in,
just when you think you've really changed him, he'll leave you again. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll break you every time.
put out the light.
Just hold on before we say goodbye. Before we say
We may be a little radio station, but we've got a massive music library, and we give it to you for free every day. You're listening to Magic 92.5 WGHQ.
Look at us, baby, up all night, tearing our love apart. Aren't we the same two people who live through years in the dark?
listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM. And also online at mykcr.org.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome. And ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Okay, it's Friday, thank God.
Good morning, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good, Rick. How are you?
Good. I love picking up the New York Post on Friday.
I know, there's a lot of good stuff in it today.
Clueless California tourists visit New York City.
Yeah, and that's the royal whatever, the Duchess of Sussex or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny.
Maybe they don't read the Post and know that the crime is out of control in New York City right now, and probably not a good time to visit it, but nonetheless, it's not like that all over New York City. But it still isn't, it isn't good.
New York Paws fawn over tourists, and the cut line is ignoble. Governor Hochul and Mayor de Blasio appear for some reason Thursday at One World Observatory with Harry and Meghan, who have no royal duties whatsoever.
Yeah, they don't have anything.
It just makes me laugh, I'll tell you.
They say that they're not about, they want to stay out of the social media, but they do interviews with Oprah. They fly here, they go there. They don't seem like they're not, I don't know, not who they say they are. I see that Zucker's finally gone.
That's no surprise.
Well, it should have been a lot sooner, don't you think? I mean, Cuomo's been out of office now for what, almost a month? Well, longer than that.
Yeah, a lot of people would argue he should have been out of office even before Cuomo resigned.
Yeah.
The unbelievable way that the lack of reporting of the deaths in the nursing homes and the data that evidently was not presented correctly. So
I mean, Hochul said that she was going to come in and clean house. She hasn't done that at all.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So
and she, and I thought Cuomo was. I mean, obviously the things that Cuomo did or were accused of doing were a little too much to take. But God, was he more conservative than her? I think a little. She is just like she thinks Joe. What's this? Not even. I mean, she's just. I think she's out of control. She's definitely not going to win re-election.
Yeah, I don't know.
She keeps flip-flopping on these stories.
I mean, there's no. Certainly, I know that Republicans. I met the gentleman that is running from Zeldin from. He's a congressman from Long Island. Really nice guy. Was down at a Memorial Day event for the town of Shongum, and he was there. Really nice guy and everything, but Republicans have no shot at that.
So that Italian guy that ran 4 years ago or whatever it was, I can't pronounce his name. He actually seems like he's okay, but no, they don't. They don't have anyone in line. I think they don't think they're going to win, so they're just like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, Molinaro ran against the last time against Cuomo.
Yeah, but he didn't win the primary though, right? Or did he? For the Republican?
Yeah, no, he ran against Cuomo.
He did?
Yeah. Mark
Didn't
Molinaro.
Cynthia Nixon get more votes than him?
Who did?
Cynthia Nixon, the Sex and the City.
No.
That working families.
Yeah,
party,
I know
right?
who you mean. Yeah, but
Well, he's running for Delgado's seat now.
Yeah, he is. So
I think that's a mistake.
He's in his third term for Dutchess County Executive. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, people forget how close Delgado's first race was against the incumbent John Faso. So, and then so we'll see how he does. That was a close race, and plus they're still going to reapportion the district, so I don't know how that's going to affect the race, but they're definitely both in Rhinebeck-Tivoli area, so that's certainly they're going to be in the same district. So that should be interesting. And
so
anyway,
you can run for his. So Molinaro can run for Delgado's seat, even though because Delgado was from Hyde Park originally, right?
Yes.
Okay, because he has an office right across the street from my house on Clinton Avenue.
Right. It's a wide
Not across
range.
the street, but down. I can look if I stick my head out the window and look left, I can see his office.
I don't
ever see anybody in there.
Well, I don't know, but there's a lot of that is a wide-ranging district with a lot of counties. Obviously, Ulster and Dutchess are two of the counties, two of the larger ones. So it'll be an interesting race, I think.
And that's federal, right? That's Congress?
Yes. 2022. And
Right, that's when the election.
so that's going to be a very, very, very interesting race, I think. So
we shall
got a good
see.
show lined up this morning. We got a lot of
you got you got like 4 guests.
Yeah, I know. It's just
You got some call-ins. You got Steve Perusso's coming back in for.
That should be a good half hour with Steve.
It was.
Then we have the Garlic Festival from 7:15 to 7:30. Then we have Steve Perusso 7:30 to 8. 8 to 8:30 we have Just Delicious from the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. That'll be great. And we also have a representative of the Brunel Sculpture Park coming in at 8:30. So a lot of things going on. Did you see where Kingston High School's football game today has been changed from 7 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
What, because of the rain?
No, because of all the violence last weekend. An Arlington high school student was stabbed after the game, killed.
Here in Kingston?
No. There was 3 different places. Arlington High School, a student was killed.
At Arlington?
At Arlington.
That's in Poughkeepsie, right?
Right. And then there was a disturbance at FDR High School in Hyde Park, and then in Kingston, behind Kingston High in the Dietz Stadium, behind the grandstand. I had to call a ton of police officers to stem a disturbance. So
Well, that's
I
not
guess
good. Who's Kingston play today?
Today they're playing. Don't ask me why. They're playing Red Hook. I don't understand. This.
We talked about this last time. They played when I went to Kingston High School. We played like 5 or 6. Actually, there are a few more than that, but we played the same schools every year in the same sports.
Right.
Obviously, Kingston Newburgh Free Academy is the longest high school rivalry in all of America. It goes back to the late 1800s. But when I was in high school, we played Valley Central, Monroe Woodbury. God, I can't even.
Pine Bush, Middletown.
Right, they're in OCIAA, right?
Those are all AA schools, which Kingston is. I don't have a problem on these non-league games if Kingston want to drop down to A, which is the next smallest classification.
So what, AA is the middle, or
double A is the
highest?
The highest. Then you go down to A, and then you go down to B and C. In the last 2 weeks, Kingston has played, Saugerties is an A, even though they haven't been very good in it.
Now, does it have to do with the amount of children that go to the school? Is that how you
get?
Okay.
Yes, the enrollment.
Because Kingston's a...
But Kingston to
I graduated with 513 kids in 1991.
For Kingston to be playing a Class B school like Red Hook, I'm sorry, that's just...
well, I mean, they do that in college. They do that in college for the college teams.
That's
Anyway, how is Kingston doing this year? Are they good? Because they've been crappy.
Well, they're 2-1, but they really haven't played it.
And who's the coach? Is it Ron Kelders?
Quentin Johnson.
Oh, okay. Is he new?
No, he's been there for, I think, 45 years.
Oh, has he? Okay.
But for them to be playing a Class B school, Red Hook, I remember when I was at the Freeman, Rick Clausey was the football coach.
Yeah, he was my football coach.
And so anyway, Ed Palladino, the late Ed Palladino, was the sports editor, great guy. So Ed was a huge booster at Kingston High School. And at the time, Marlboro was a really powerful Class B school. So I wrote a column saying, why doesn't Kingston play Marlboro? Because I think it'd be a competitive game. And oh my God, the reaction I got from Kingston High School and all their supporters and the administrators are like, oh, we don't play small schools. That would be a total mismatch.
Well, they're doing it now.
Well, they're doing it now.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what the reason is, but
I don't understand why they're playing. Like schools like. And you said that they a couple weeks ago when you were on. Was that a couple weeks ago? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
on the
2 weeks
11th,
ago.
Right. Okay, so
they're playing Beacon, Poughkeepsie.
Right, and you said they're playing Poughkeepsie schools. They're double A's too, or are they?
Oh no, they're smaller. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Arlington is smaller than Kingston High School.
Oh no, not Arlington. Arlington is a big
Arlington's
school.
a
But
pretty
they
big
play
school.
Arlington. So I don't know what the enrollment is. I'd have to check it for Poughkeepsie and Beacon, but they're more into Kingston's class.
Yeah.
But for Kingston to be playing Red Hook, I mean, please.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem. I mean, they never. Do they play them in basketball too? I mean, that.
Not really. No, Kingston plays, and Ron Kelder's the coach. They play a really.
Oh, okay. I had my. He's the coach of basketball.
Yeah, Ron Kelder's
Kelder.
the basketball coach, longtime coach, and he plays a very competitive schedule. They go play in Schenectady, Albany. They play really tough teams, which I think is the way you get prepared for the schedule when you're going to play the large schools. Now, Kingston, after they play Red Hook, they should win. They'll be 3-1. But then they're going to be playing Pine Bush, who I don't think they're that great this year. But then they're going to run the gauntlet of Monroe Woodbury, Newburgh,
Valley Central.
Valley Central, and Middletown. And
What's the one down by Harriman? Is that Monroe Woodbury?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I can't remember the last time Kingston beat Newburgh. Maybe this will be the year.
I mean, we when I was in high school, we beat them almost every year except for our senior year.
The worm has turned.
I mean, the JV and varsity was beaten. And we had a good basketball team back when I was in high school too. I mean, we had some good guys, man. Kingston Newburgh is a big. It's a long rivalry, and they bring up just like when we go there. I don't know if they do it anymore, but when we used to go play on the road in Newburgh. We used to go down with they're the team for the bus, the team for the cheerleaders, the boosters, whatever. I mean, there would be like 3 or 4 buses that we would go with.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just show up and they do the same thing. So, like the basketball games at Kate Walton Fieldhouse when I was in high school, you couldn't, if you didn't get in there early enough, even if you're a student, you weren't getting a seat.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people standing around. I mean, it's.
No question. I was covering games at the Freeman in the 80s. And they had some unbelievable rivalry, and you're absolutely right. The Cape Walton Fieldhouse was packed.
Yeah, it'd be packed.
And
you'd be lucky if you get standing room. Hang on, I think we got your caller calling in. Hang on a second. Pat, did I say this right, Pat? Pat Pretorius from Garlic Festival?
That's right.
Oh, good. There you go, Rick. We were both stumbling with your last name, Pat.
Pat, how are you this morning?
Well, it's a mouthful, but I'm just fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not that hard, Pretorius, but I appreciate you coming on this early in the morning. I know I had you and Dr. Kapler in the studio last month, and we talked about having you come back because the Garlic Festival is not this weekend, but it's coming upon us the following weekend, October 2nd and 3rd, correct?
That's correct. So 1 week from today, we'll be at the Cantine Field setting up and getting ready for all of our festival goers to come.
Well, we talked about it in the previous show. of course, last year you didn't have it because of the pandemic, and I know that was a hard decision. But for this year's festival, have you pretty much had the same number of vendors that you normally have?
Pretty much. We will have over 200 vendors. We usually have a little more, but some people did not wish to participate due to COVID. Although we have had people that we could call and they were ready to come and take that spot. So I think we're looking pretty good.
I'm sure that the reaction from the vendors, they must be chomping at the bit to get to the Cantine Field October 2nd and 3rd after missing last year.
Yeah. No, it's good that we had our festival in the fall because the vendors have now become accustomed to how to deal with the pandemic procedures. And, even though everything will be very careful, we encourage people to wear masks, especially the non-vaccinated.
Sure.
Vendors will be handing out samples rather than in the past you were able to go to a table and sample their wares and, just put the pretzel from a basket on the counter. But that's going to be a little different this year. You're going to have to ask for samples. So.
Well, that's smart, I think. Can't be too careful, even though we all are hopeful that the pandemic is in our rearview mirror. I have to say it's not quite completely in the rearview mirror. So
I know, yeah.
So is the festival being held 1 week later than normal this year?
Yes, it is. We depend on HITS, which is the Horses in the Sun show.
Yep.
In Saugerties for some of our parking. And we knew this 2 years ago that he was going to have an event this weekend. It was scheduled that far in advance. So
okay.
We had to move our event back another week. So we hope that doesn't confuse too many people. But we've been, the poster says it. I've been on Facebook, Instagram. So hopefully everybody will not come this weekend, but come next weekend.
Yeah. Please don't show up this weekend. You'll be disappointed. So
Really?
Let me know what are the hours again for Saturday and Sunday for the Garlic Festival?
On Saturday, we are open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Sunday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I encourage people to come early, especially if they're worried about the crowd, because usually around lunchtime, that's when we start getting really busy because people want to come and have some delicious garlic food. So, but in the morning, first thing, it's usually easier to get around. And, like I said, if there's concerns, better to get around. So,
yeah, that's I would encourage people to show up early, and that way you get a couple hours without feeling like you're fighting the crowds, and then you can always be the first one lined up for the food too.
That's right. That's always a great thing to do.
Talk about the parking when people come into. There's a couple different ways, but I know when you come off the thruway, I see in the past there was, the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival signs saying to turn left and go that way. Is that the way that you're encouraging people to go to the festival and then go the back way, kind of through, past HITS and then the parking area there? Is that the best way to go?
I think so. You can run into a lot of congestion in the village. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. The village is very busy. So you could be backed up for a mile or so. So if you take the left off the thruway and follow the signs, and that's, of course, from the northbound exit. In Saugerties, we have two exits.
Yep.
So if you're coming from the north, you want to take a right off that exit. But go up 32 to Malden Turnpike. The signage is great. Just follow the signs, and you'll be led right into the parking areas.
And parking is free. What is the cost of tickets, and how would people who don't want to buy them at the gate, you get a little discount if you get them in advance, correct?
Absolutely. We have discount tickets at all 4 Adams Fairacre Farm stores. We also have them in Saugerties at Smith's Hardware, Sawyer Savings Bank, and M&T Bank. The last day of sales for the discount tickets is October 1st. So the adult ticket is $7, a savings of $3, and the senior ticket is $5, a savings of $5.
Right. Well, that's
And the entrance at the gate is $10, and it's cash only. We do not have the capability of running credit card machines. The Wi-Fi service at the Garlic Festival can be sketchy at best, and then when you have all those people there using their cards and trying to buy things, sometimes we have a little overload problem. So we encourage people to bring cash with them.
okay. Good. This is Pat Pretorius from the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival. If people want to look up, on the website, there's a wealth of information. So you just go to HVGF, that's as in H and Harry, V as in Victor, G as in Garlic, F as in Frank.org. One of the things I know that you're not because of COVID, you're not having lectures and cooking demonstrations, but you are having some entertainment. So talk about the entertainment that you're having on 3 of your stages.
Okay. We have a lot of favorites coming back. We have Some Dad, Mark Rust on the West Marketplace stage. Annie and the Hedonists, which is one of my favorites. I hate to play favorites, but they're a great group. And James Rissacker on the Junction stage. And we have Bells and Motley and the Homegrown String Band on the Pavilion stage. We'll have continuous music all day long. We also have the Arm of the Sea Theater performing at the bandstand stage. They usually put on, they're that big puppet theater. And one year they did a very interesting thing on the tanning industry in the Catskills here. I don't know what their theme is this year, but it's very colorful and it's a learning experience. And the kids love it.
Yeah, the Arm of the Sea is really cool theater group. So, that's I always like to check that out when I go to the Garlic Festival. This is Rick Remsteiner with Pat Pretorius of the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival. If anybody would like to call in, feel free to call 331-9255. We're on till 9 a.m. this morning. So, Pat, how long have you been, I know that you're going to be, if you're not already, the incoming president of the Saugerties Kiwanis Club, correct?
Yes, I am. That'll take effect October 1st, so I'll be wearing my tiara at the festival.
Good deal. The tiara, people won't have a hard time finding you.
Absolutely. Look for the woman with the sparkly headband.
Yeah.
So this is going to be challenging, coming off the pandemic, hopefully coming off the pandemic. We have to, get back in the business of encouraging, especially the school children, to get involved in volunteerism. With the year of no classes and no clubs at the schools, Tea Club and Builders Club in Saugerties High School, the kids still did things, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle for anybody to do anything. We couldn't have the Garlic Festival. So I'm looking forward to try and get those programs to the spot where they were before the pandemic, because they were great clubs. The kids do wonderful things. And, we'll take it from there. We need another generation of volunteers.
Yeah, that's one thing that hard with the pandemic, getting people to volunteer. So hopefully now that we are coming out of it, that won't be a problem. I know this is your main fundraiser. Can you talk about what the Saugerties Kiwanis Club does? The other 52 weeks out of the 52, without
Right.
other than the Garlic Festival, what do you got? What is your mission, and what do you guys do?
Well, our mission is to help kids in any way we can. Most of our funds are raised at the Garlic Festival. We do not hold any other fundraisers. We're lucky in that way, and in some ways, just have one focus for the year. We start planning the Garlic Festival. I think we take November and December off, and then in January we start holding meetings for the next Garlic Festival. So it's not like it's one weekend. We spend a lot of time over the year preparing for this, making sure that we're following all the health regulations, safety regulations, and making sure all our vendors are happy with their spots. And I'm in charge of publicity, so I start working on that in March. And we're most of our meetings consist of deciding who we're going to give money to. Our budget does include some regular people we contribute to: the Boys and Girls Club, the food pantry. The Kiwanis ice skating rink, of course, is one of our biggest projects, and is quite a bonus to the town of Saugerties. We have a scholarship program for graduating seniors. We sponsor the Seaman Park Holiday Lights, which is always a lovely display. I have helped in the past with setting up the lights, and it's almost as fun as driving by the lights, as long as it's not too cold. We have a backpack program that we regularly contribute to, which is run by Key Club. And we also contribute to Hope Rocks, which is another local Saugerties program, so people are aware of the opioid problem. And our latest thing we've done, Ulster County Community College has a President's Challenge Scholarship. So we sponsor a high schooler in this program with an aim of getting them concentrating on their studies, volunteering, and eventually going to Ulster County Community College for their first 2 years of college if they decide they want to carry on. But it's a great program. It encourages kids to really focus on studies and on volunteerism. So we're very busy in those ways.
Well, thanks for the update on that. And you guys do have some wonderful programs, and I know people in Saugerties area really, and the surrounding area really appreciate all the hard work that you do. And they see you, and we'll be seeing you at the Tier at but in a couple weekends. But you guys are out in the community the other 51 weeks out of the year. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Please give my best to Dr. Richard Kapler, who's has organized and been the top guy at the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival for all these years. And
32 years.
32?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. He does. All you guys do a wonderful job, but Dr. Kapler certainly seems he gets things going and is.
He does. Yeah.
Really
very organized, and I'm constantly amazed that this thing does happen every year.
Well, it's happening this year. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
I think we've basically covered everything. We appreciate anyone coming to the festival. We will be following the Department of Health and CDC guidelines in place at the time. We don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know what the next week is going to come up with, but we're hoping that it won't be too different. We encourage people to wear masks, practice social distancing, and be safe.
Well, let's hope for some good weather next Saturday and Sunday, and hope you guys have a good crowd and everything goes off like clockwork.
Thanks a lot, Rick.
All right, you take care, Pat. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Rick. You take care, too. Hope to see you there.
Okay, I'll look for that tiara.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, let's take a little break, Lawrence. Then we're coming back with Mr. Peruso.
You got it.
Listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM. And also online at mykcr.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org, produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
We're back here with, it's interesting, Lawrence, that I've retired from the Ulster County I just hit 1 year. It's hard to believe.
Oh, that's right, last September.
Yeah, September 18th. And to my surprise, the county has...
September 18th?
September 18th.
That's the day that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 1 year anniversary of that.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, though.
What I was going to say is I'm really shocked the county hasn't fallen apart since I left.
Well,
but we do have a gentleman I've known for a number of years, and it's great to have him, a county employee. But more importantly, he's running for political office, and a big sports fan. I know that. Steve Peruso, how's it going?
Very well, Rick. Thanks for having me, Larry. Thank you for reaching out and having me on today.
Absolutely.
Well, Lawrence, as I like to call him,
Yeah, Larry's the old name, but that's right. Steve gets a pass because him and my uncle go way back.
Larry's fine, but...
Yes, it is. I'm running for Alderman of Ward 1, Common Council, City of Kingston.
What streets does Ward 1 take up? That's fair, like behind...
It actually it borders. It's the extreme end of Kingston on as far south as the end of Lucas Avenue ends the city line one way. West is Hurley Avenue the other way, and then it kind of zigzags in and out. Washington Avenue. I do, just a very little part down to Main Street, and then as it goes up, it kind of zigzags more, half of Lounsbury and up that way, and then it actually goes up into the back streets off of Lucas, Sharon Lane, Dunham Avenue, and up in there. Yeah, Fairview is actually where I live. I live on the corner of Fairview and Howland Avenue.
I used to live in what are the apartments called?
Fairview Gardens.
Yeah, those are some great apartments.
I remember when you lived there.
Yeah, I was
Many
working
in a
at the
different
Freeman.
lifetime.
I could almost roll down the hill to get to the Freeman.
That's the biggest drawback. Everything is electric there. Well, you must have lived on the ground floor then. The people upstairs didn't come. See, that's the problem. If you have an upstairs, I have many friends that have lived there on and off, and if you had the upstairs, you had your windows open, and if you were downstairs on a concrete slab, it was just you either froze or you paid a lot of heat.
Yeah, I was only there for a couple of years, but I do. The one benefit I remember is I don't know if all of them had it back then, but they all had dryers. Which did they have a washer too or not? But I remember they had dryers in the complexes. Yeah. Yep.
There was. I know a good friend of mine, and somebody I'm sure you remember, Teddy Wood.
Oh yeah, sure.
Great friend of mine lived up there, and yeah, he had a washer and dryer up there. He lived there
that was
for many
convenient.
years.
Yeah, that electric heat was killer, though, man. Oof.
Well, let's talk about the issues in the city of Kingston, Steve. It's great to have you here. So, what are the things that you think are most important?
Wow, it's a pretty broad spectrum. So, I guess to start with, I just you know that I've been here most of my life. Moved here with my parents as a small child, and I've had a business in Ward 1. I've lived in Ward 1 for 40 years.
What was your business so people know?
I owned Stephen's Restaurant on the corner of Washington and Lucas Avenue for 24 years, yep. And it was a great run, great area. I had this, I went to college, not expecting to ever own a restaurant. Went to school and changed my major a couple of times. But mostly for sociology and child psychology, and realized I didn't want to live in an urban area, which is where I would have had to be. So I switched to business, and then I found myself in the construction trade somehow, and bartending in the winters, and that led to the restaurant business. And I found a niche there, and I liked it. And like I said, 24 years was enough. It was time to move on, and so I wound up with the county. But I've been in that area, like I said, owning a business in that area. I was and am still involved with the old Colonial Little League, which is the field up in the Edson Bailey area.
Sure.
So my roots here are significant. And what I see going on in my city, I'm not crazy about a lot of the things. And I'm I guess to say I'm outspoken would be putting it mildly. So I've had people saying to me, you should run for office. You should be this. You should do that. And I finally got to the point of saying, you know what, if I'm going to keep running my mouth and not liking this and not liking that, you can't complain about things unless you're willing to step up and try to do something about it. So that has brought me to this crossroads in my life. I'm not a politician by any means. I think you know me well enough.
That could be a plus.
To know that. Well, I'm not sure. It's a lot to learn. The dirty part of politics, I'm learning very quickly. But I do think there's advantages. The disadvantages of are not knowing completely how to run a campaign. I'm getting a lot of help from a lot of people. I'm not enrolled in any party, but I have the backing of the Republican Party. I'm running on their line. I'm running on the conservative line. I have their endorsement, the Republican endorsement, and I'm running on my own independent line, which is called A Safer Kingston, which is a big, big issue going on in our city, among other things. I think, like I said, as far as where to start, we have major infrastructure problems. We have a safety issue. We have, God, I don't even know. Like I said,
Let's go.
So many,
Here's one thing, I wanted to ask you about. And by the way, this is Rick Remsnyder with Steve Peruso. If you like to talk to Steve, ask him any questions, please call us, 331-9255. I saw the other day that I believe there's been 3 deaths over the past 12 to 18 months, bicyclists here in the city of Kingston. The new bike lanes and different configurations. And I see that Mayor Noble is pushing for spending, I want to
$35,000.
Oh, good, thank you, for a safety program. My question to you is, why wasn't this?
I couldn't agree with you more.
Why did the Common Council? I don't want to put the blame on the mayor. He proposed it earlier, I guess. Why wasn't this passed before? Well, it's $35,000. Doesn't seem like a lot of money for safety.
I couldn't agree with you more. Why do you do the study after the fact? This thing, these things, I mean, first of all, there has been these deaths, and that's terrible. You don't want to see that, but we had one initially on Greenkill Avenue where the configuration there, and that configuration, by the way, is being changed in some cities already. It wasn't working. I just recently came back from a vacation in a resort town, a vacation town down in Jersey, and the bicycling, as you know, in a vacation spot like the Jersey Shore and other places, major bicycle traffic, major, probably, I don't know, significantly more than we have here in Kingston. And the configuration is a normal configuration. Curb, parking, then a bike lane. And limited to streets where they're not a significant major thoroughfare. Here, with the first one being Greenkill Avenue and a death occurring within less than a month, and everybody that you talk to seemed to realize the same thing. How are they going to plow it? Why are the cars parked in the road, doors opening? And then, as this is failing, we see that the same thing happens on Broadway, which is our main thoroughfare in the whole city. It's an emergency route, so it raises the question of, is it going to work? And I mean, why are you doing this? Like you said, why are you doing a safety follow-up of $35,000 after the fact? Now, also, there's a significant bike walking trail 100 yards away from Broadway that it was a venture done by the county and the city, runs from Kingston Plaza, goes out of the plaza through on the old railroad bed. And why would you need another bike lane on Broadway when you have that? And this second death that occurred just not even a week ago, that could have been eliminated just by that person using the other bike rail trail, whatever it is. And why are these bikes being led into a rotary? And the rotary will work, I think, eventually.
People get used to it.
People will have to learn. They'll have to adapt a little bit, maybe pay attention to road signs. But I don't see the reason for leading bikes into it. Now, I don't know the full details. I don't know if anybody does yet. But from what people are saying is that the biker was going the wrong way. Unfortunately, it caused his demise, and that's sad. And I'm sure the trucker that was driving feels terribly about it. But there's no reason for him to be biking there.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. I just don't. I really think it needs to be changed. I do. I really do. That $35,000, instead of doing a safety study, use it to reconfigure it back to a safer way.
I think that's the way to go. It's I used to live in New Paltz, and even though they created the Empire Rail Trail, and the way they did it from all across the Mid-Hudson Bridge and going through Highland and then along Route 299 going into New Paltz. Beautiful paved rail trail. I see a lot of bicycles.
I know exactly
there.
what you mean, yeah.
And it's very safe because it's way off the road, okay? Now, there is a portion when you get into New Paltz, the town of New Paltz, where you need to go on the main thoroughfare, but then they take you, instead of going through on the Empire State Rail Trail, instead of going right down Main Street where the traffic's unbelievable, and the way people drive, I wouldn't feel safe in a bike.
Very narrow there, too.
And they reroute you around the village, and you go to the rail trail on the other side. So I think it's hard for me to envision it being safe right now on Broadway bicycling. I don't think it's safe.
I would not ride a bike on Broadway. I feel bad if the people that are involved in any of these accidents with a biker or pedestrian, they feel terrible, but we're enabling it because of this configuration. I mean, you're a Kingston person mostly. Broadway, any type of, I hear a major problem, I guess, is from the high school back toward uptown during school let-out time. A lot of parents are picking up their children because of bus situations, shortage of bus drivers. So I'm hearing that since school started, there's a major backup from Kingston High School because they can only go in single file. So there's a major backup going back toward uptown. Now you have your common, midday traffic. If you have an emergency vehicle that needs to get through there, how are they getting through? Where are you pulling over to let these vehicles through? If you have cars parked on either side of you, where is the emergency vehicle going?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person waiting for an emergency vehicle with my life depending on it when they're bottlenecked and can't get through. I don't want anybody's family or loved ones to be in that situation.
No, I agree 100%. I'm here with Rick Remser here with Steve Peruso. Steve, I'm sure that you must have at some point talked to some of the business owners in Midtown. I don't know if it's not part of your ward, right? Or is it?
No, it's not. Like I said, it ends there, but you know what?
Just wondering what's the impact been on the business owners at Midtown with the way the thing is and been changed in the parking?
Well, it's hard. I think it's twofold because the construction that's been going on, I'm sure has hurt a great deal. So it's like I said, it's twofold. We'll see now how it impacts it now that construction is done, and if people are willing now that the construction is done. I know they were trying to probably avoid it, with the dust and the detours and all that. Now that it's done, will they still choose to go to other options because of the parking, because of other? I mean, I know a lot of my friends. Insurance Man is on Broadway, Koenig Insurance. I go there all the time. I don't know if I'll try to choose. I mean, he'll still be my guy, but I may choose to try another route instead of parking my vehicle right there by the diner. And I don't know. I think it'll alter people. I hear a lot of people saying, I'm avoiding Broadway. I'll take all back streets. I'll do this. I'll do that. So I'm sure it's going to have an impact on businesses, maybe especially food eateries on Broadway where people are looking to get in and out quick.
Sure.
Take out. You got Ang's. You got Sea Deli, places like that. Been there forever, 100 years. And sure it'll impact them. I'm sure it has to.
I feel bad for the restaurateurs because they've been through so much with the pandemic and everything, and then to have another issue like this to make things even harder. And owning a restaurant for 24 years, when people are looking for options and they say, well, the parking, they'll go to another place.
Absolutely. People, especially restaurant people, I believe, creatures of habit, they find a place they like, they stay with it. Now, as soon as they can't or choose not to deal with whatever the situation is, and they find another place and they like that, they're going to move on. And, I still have, many ties to restaurants and their owners. And the other thing they're dealing with is staffing. It's a nightmare. I know places who are actually closing, hurting their business because they can't staff it.
Oh, yeah.
Their option is burning out their good employees, I want to say, that are motivated, want to be there, but they have to give them a break, so they close a couple of days because they don't have enough staff to open 7 days.
Yeah. Well, I live now in the Lake Katrina Apartments, and there's by the smoothie place across from
Adams there.
Yeah, and Jolly Cow. There's a make-your-own pizza establishment. I believe it's owned by the Savonas, but I'm not 100% sure. But that the building has been.
I'm not aware of that. Where is it?
Well, it hasn't been able to open, from what I understand, because they couldn't get the staffing. It's ready to go.
Is it in the plaza where the Mexican restaurant is?
It's adjacent to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and it's a make-your-own pizza.
Make-your-own pizza place.
I believe Kramer on Seinfeld had that idea one time. I don't think it panned out though.
Yeah, unlike the Soup Nazi, which panned out.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a perfect example of a place that just can't get open because they can't get enough staff there.
Agreed.
So one thing I would say, this is Steve Peruso again. I don't follow the politics of the city of Kingston that closely, but the one thing that has to be a little discouraging it's not like the two-party system. It's always like 8-1, or is there 9 members on the council?
There's 9 members. I believe 1 is a non-enrolled. I believe 8 are Democrats. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 8 and 1 non-enrolled.
I'm sure that one of the reasons that you run, you like to have another voice that's a little dissimilar to the
You hit it right on the
party.
head. A big word in my campaign and my thinking about running is balance. Balance and bipartisanship. You can't have a mayor of one party, and I'm not talking, this is not Democrat or Republican, this is just basic philosophy. You can't have a mayor who's one party and then a full common council, the same party, and just rubber stamp everything he does. I mean, and even there's 4 people running, the incumbents, 5 will stay run unopposed, 4 are being challenged. So it's still going to be a majority no matter what of Democrats. That's, but at least there will be hopefully some kind of conversation on things, some pushback, some thoughtfulness put into things before, like the issue we talked about with the bike lanes. Maybe if there was just somebody, a couple of people there to give a little pushback at the time to say, let's do a little more studying on this. Let's look at the safety issues. Let's see if there's a alternative route that we can use instead of just, okay, Mayor, we'll do it. We'll just put the bike lanes in. We'll worry about the safety later. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think you're right. You have to have balance. I know the Ulster County Legislature, which I followed all the time very closely because I reported to them as a tourism director. I mean, this year it's 12-11 is the breakdown. So that way you are having a good discussion of the issues, and even though the county executive, Pat Ryan, hasn't had a lot of problem getting his initiatives through. He has support, but at least there is some discussion. When you have an 8-1 or even 9-0 advantage with the Democrats running the administration, I mean, it's. I don't want to say it's it is a rubber stamp. Basically.
It is.
That's what it is.
It's the best term, and I hate to use it too, but like you said, I think that's a great analogy with the legislature. There seems to be more give and take, a little bit more. Pat Ryan, that is, seems to listen. I mean, it's better than the dictatorship we went through with Mr. Hine, who was just, a dictator. His philosophy was, it's good to be the king. And
well, I'm gonna stay away from that because County Executive Mike Hine was in for 10 years, and he gave a lot of support to the tourism department. So I'm gonna
That's
respectfully
fine. I have my own reasons for it.
Well, let's get back to the city before we
Sure.
get in any trouble
Absolutely.
here with Mike Kine. What the armored vehicle? How do we stand with that?
Well, I spoke that night at that meeting, and I honestly can tell you, I was
You
appalled.
weren't happy with the coverage also at a Daily Freeman.
I was
correct?
not. It wasn't. There was no coverage. They chose to. The reporter who was there, who sat 2 rows in front of me, front and center, chose not to report what happened there that night, even though she claimed to me that she did not hear anything, did not see any of the shenanigans that went on, including the disrespect of the police. Yet there was Freeman photographs that were taken, not put in the paper, but they were made public, and they said Daily Freeman right on them, but yet she denied any knowledge of it and told me that she was so focused and so attentive to the speakers that she didn't really realize what the vulgarity and the just repulsive behavior by Rise Up Kingston that night. And then to report it the next day while being there, I just couldn't believe it. And she basically lied to me. I mean, I talked to her. She was nice enough to take my call. I explained to her that I was there, that I spoke. And I told her that because of experienced some natural disasters in Ulster County, that this vehicle I felt would be good. It can get to places. And I said, you must have remembered me saying that. You were so attentive and focused.
I knew what people were saying.
And
right?
she said, I don't remember that. So I said, you can't have it both ways. Either you were so focused or you weren't. And actually, I learned a lot about people that night. The police presence that was there made valid, solid arguments for this. And the other side, the Rise Up Kingston group, just kept calling it a effing tank, a vehicle, an armed vehicle, which it's absolutely not. And I actually learned a lot of other people. I was actually told by a Rise Up Kingston member that they hoped I got mouth cancer.
Oh, my God.
Because I was for this vehicle. And then actually threatened, it said if I continued this, that he was a computer genius and he could ruin my life. This is what we're up against.
That's just very sad.
Yep.
Well, I know who you're talking about, Steve, and that the person that you're speaking of, the one that runs the Rise Up, she's just off her rocker.
Well,
or she's if she was about doing the right thing instead of trying to divide the city between black and white.
Well, how does the money, and we all know where it comes from, how does somebody keep supporting a group like this when people are wishing mouth cancer on people? And
I don't understand how
acting the way they do at a public event like that.
Yeah.
In the chambers of City Hall.
Basically, putting the other Radio Kingston at risk. I mean, you don't speak like that to people. But
apparently they condone.
Her ego is blown up so much that she thinks she's doing the right thing, and that's So you can't really even have a conversation with someone like that, because no matter what you say or what you do, they're never going to.
It could be easily stopped by not funding them.
Yeah, I agree, but that's.
Are they that?
When you told me that about the $70,000, I was shocked. I went and looked it up, and you're absolutely right.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I did
and free housing too. I mean, I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
I learned a lot after that night down there. The things I saw and how they can support the vulgarity and the disrespect.
Yeah,
I mean, listen. I understand in the world we're living in, there's been some issues with police issues, but so minor. If you take the big picture, I'm not condoning the actions of the officer that killed George Floyd.
Absolutely
not at all. I'm not condoning.
He didn't deserve to die.
But that's one. I shouldn't say one. There's others. But to right away just say, we don't want an armed vehicle. We don't want a tank rolling down Broadway. One thing is nothing. It's better to have that vehicle and never, ever use it than to need it one time and not to have it.
Right.
And it's not costing a single dime.
No, it was donated, right?
Well, it's coming from funding with something to do with the emergency, the people, the responders that are trained for it. It's all tied in with that. The funding is there, and also I don't think they get trained if we don't have the vehicle. It's like a catch-22 situation. It all works. It all works. Like I said, if it's parked in a garage, and the other thing is, we already have one. It's just outdated. It's not like we're going and getting one out of the clear blue sky. We're going to go buy a tank so we can roll down Broadway and start
She's
killing
just
people.
looking for anything to complain about. Well,
Well-
Steve, I want to thank you for coming in. We are out of time. We got to go to break.
We're not going to talk about the Yankees at all?
No, we're not going to do that. Maybe you come on. Come on. Your election is what, November 2nd?
November 2nd.
All right, so we'll get you on back
Real
before then.
quick, though, before I go, there's a meet and greet at Forsyth Park on October 9th. Myself and Tiffany Christiana, who's running in Ward 3, great person. She'll be fantastic. We're doing a meet and greet. Bring your kids. There's going to be a DJ. There's going to be face painting, free hot dogs.
Nice.
So, and we want to meet people, especially in Ward 3 and Ward 1. And whatever else, get out and vote. Even if it's not for me, get out and vote.
Right.
It's your right.
Express
It's
your right.
American right. Vote. Please, people, vote.
All right. Well,
You're
Steve.
welcome to come back here
Thank you.
anytime. We'll
Anytime,
talk about
Steve.
the Yankees.
I'd love to.
Anything you want, Steve.
You got it. Rick,
Great
thanks
seeing
for
you.
having me. Larry, thank you.
No problem.
Lauren, Lawrence.
We'll be back in a few, folks.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Introducing the YMCA. Sure, you know the Y for a swim or a game of hoops, but we're more than that. We're a cause. When you take a jump shot at the Y, someone else is getting job training. Practice yoga as a team practices her leadership skills. We give people of all ages, incomes, and backgrounds a chance to learn, grow, and thrive. So while you might think of the Y as the place for lifting weights, we're also about lifting entire communities. That's the Y. We're so much more. Visit ymca.net/more.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer? The drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Hi, I'm Ruth Quick from Town of Ulster. I support Kingston Community Radio, and you should too.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Okay, we're back.
Larry now. Or
No.
Steve Peruso.
No, Lawrence. No, Larry.
Lawrence. Steve Peruso. He's quite a character.
Yeah, he's known me since I've been, him and my uncle were good friends, and Chris Sesh, the three of them were like as thick as thieves.
Oh, yeah, Chris, good guy.
Yeah, I think they all graduated Coleman together. I'm not actually too sure on that.
Well, I know Chris was a huge supporter of...
So before we get to Jess Davis, our next guest, do we have a bunch of birthdays there?
Yes, sir.
The folder felt kind of thick when I was bringing it in there this morning.
It's so thick that Jess Davis, better known as Jess Delicious, from the Ulster County Regional Chamber, is going to help us. So Friday, which is today, we're wishing happy birthday to Janet Mellon from your friends at the Town of Ulster Senior Club. And since there's only one birthday on Friday, Janet, you're going to be the birthday winner of the famous cow pie, courtesy of Boyce Dairy Milk House and Kingston Community Radio.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
All right. I got Saturday birthdays. There's quite a few on the 25th.
That's why I gave it to you.
Oh, Rick. Oh, I see. You're a little sneaky. All right. Well, first we have happy birthday, Shiloh Risley, from your friend Diane. Happy birthday, Shiloh. Then we've got John Langer from your friends at People's Place. We hope you enjoy your special day. Happy birthday, John. And another People's Place birthday, Paula Wisniewski. Happy birthday from your friends at People's Place. We hope you enjoy your special day. And our winner of the famous cow pie from Boyce Dairy Milk House and Kingston Community Radio is Paula Wisniewski. Happy birthday, Paula.
Very nice. For Sunday, September 26th, we have a couple birthdays here. Please wish a happy birthday to Abigail Fox from your friends and family, Mom and Dad, Sibs. I guess that's siblings, right?
That's the cool way to say it.
Oh, Sibs?
I guess.
Well, nobody in the last 20 years...
It's got to be siblings.
Nobody in the last 20 years has ever accused me of being cool. I used to be cool, but now I'm kind of...
You're cool. You're cool with us here.
Well, thanks, Lawrence. Anyway, the Sibs, Emily and Sam, and also Uncle Bill. And then we have, please wish a happy birthday to Marianne Falcinelli from your friends at the Friendship Bible Coffee. And the winner of the famous cow pie from Boyce Dairy Milk House and Kingston Community Radio is Abigail Fox. So happy birthday to you, Abigail.
Lucky lady.
Yeah, where are all the guys? So anyway, it's great to have Jess Davis here. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Kingston community. It's great to be here with Rick and Larry. I know him as Larry, too, and I want to tell you.
Kill
Why?
Steve.
One of my friends had
I hate Larry. No more Larry. Okay?
One of my friends had a big crush on him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
And he was like a little bit older than me. Not saying that you're old, because back then you were just the cool, and it was Larry Maxwell, you know. It was,
oh, yeah. Well,
she knows who she is. Now. She's out there.
I like Lawrence better. Sounds more
Thank
official.
you, Rick.
More official. So anyway, since I last saw you, you guys had a great event at Diamond Mills. It was nice. Jess Lawrence invited me to be a judge at the Buy Local Expo, but I was committed to a golf tournament in Albany.
When are you not committed to something with golf?
That's true.
You didn't even have to say golf, and I knew it was golf.
Yeah. I said, well, I think I got the words out of my mouth. I have a commitment. You say, what, golf? So anyway, how did the Buy Local Expo go?
It was such a great day, as it always is. We sold out in booths this year. We had 83 exhibitors. And I think I can speak for probably everyone that was there. It was just so good to be in the room with energy. I always reference the Buy Local Expo as a celebration of the talent and resources that we have here in Ulster County. So it's a great day when you walk in and you can see it all in one big, huge room.
Yeah. Well, I know that you guys, and of course, Ward Todd, the president, is president, right? Do I get that right? Yeah, president.
He's the big boss.
Yeah. I was going to say, head honcho, numero uno one, but actually get the title right, president. of the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. He must have been thrilled to finally have everybody back after a year out because of the pandemic.
Oh, and he loves big events and to see everybody together in one place. So, I think he thrives off of those things. So for us to be able to do it, and we did it in a safe way and be back in person, it was such a great day. It really was.
And you had a lot of award winners. We won't go through all of them, but what were some of the highlights of the Buy Local Expo? I mean, I used to love go there when it was with Ulster County Tourism, mix and mingle, go through all the booths. What were some of the highlights of the event?
So the judges actually said, and it's typically a group of the same judges will come in each year, but we add fresh into it. And they said this was one of the hardest years. Usually there's like 5 or 6 standouts, and then they find a few others. And we have categories like Most Creative Giveaway, Best in Show, first, second, third place, Best New Exhibitor. So
who actually won that, just out of curiosity?
People's Place.
Oh, okay.
They showed up with Christmas. They were promoting Project Santa, and nobody does Christmas better than People's Place, right?
I assume Christine Hine was there.
She sure was, and quite a few of her board members joined as well, so it was a really fun, engaging booth. But what the judges said, and I think we could all say the same, is that people really showed up with their A game. Habitat for Humanity came, and it was probably 9 o'clock in the morning, and I heard drills and hammering, and they put together like a little house. Like they built a roof. It was unbelievable.
Right there at Diamond Mills. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Tony Marmo was there with Norman Staffing. He had a really fun booth. He was in the running. They were going back and forth who was going to win. And they did so relevant to what's happening in the workplace. Their theme was It's a Jungle Out There. And it was all about now hiring, and they dressed up as safari people, and it was a lot of fun. They had plants everywhere and hanging vines.
How creative.
It really was. It really was. But, I could go on and on. There were so many fantastic booths. RBT showed up with an ice cream cart, and they said, "We've got the scoop," and they served ice cream sundaes out of their booth.
That is, well, I know what booth I would have been hitting. That's a great idea.
I don't know if you saw the pictures, but Ward Todd was caught eating ice cream on the job.
Well, he's in pretty good shape, so we'll let Mr. Todd slide on that one. He's always been very svelte. So anyway, this is Rick Remsnyder with Jess Davis, Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. Now, fresh off of that, you have another big event coming up.
We sure do.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
So it's the annual Business Recognition Awards dinner. And I don't know if you want to go through the honorees.
Yes, definitely. We have a half hour here to kill. So
let me pull them up. Let me pull them up so I get them all right.
Where is it this year?
So it's going to be back at Diamond Mills.
Okay.
They have that big space, the big room. It really works, especially in today's environment. All right, let me see where I've got them. Here they are. So the 2021 honorees for Business of the Year, Howmet Fastening Systems. For Small Business of the Year, 32 Partition, 721 Media Center. So that's Jeremy and Dara Ellenbogen, and they're opening. They've already got it open, the new location up at 32 Partition. It's like an old church that they've made into a co-work space. I'm
having Jeremy on, I believe, in 2 weeks to talk about that. Him and Dara just got back from a 2-week vacation. I don't know if he told me it was Maine or something, but he's really, we'll talk about it more with Jeremy, but really did a lot of the construction, had to do a lot of the work himself, hired a lot of contractors. I hear it's a great space, so I'm
gorgeous.
Glad they're getting an award.
I was inside, and it's absolutely beautiful. It really is. And then we're going to talk about Business Person of the Year. It's Renee Martin, which is Lily Ray in the Hamlet, and she's out in the Hamlet of Highland. She's got a gift shop that features all locally made products and
Is that right in the downtown section of Highland, or?
So you know where the big plaza is with the grocery store?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you go just past that, there's a little building on the right, and she's sort of tucked in.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Hospitality Business of the Year is Courtyard by Marriott. Commitment to the Community Award, Boys and Girls Club of Ulster County. They did so much through the pandemic for our young kids. The Heritage Award, J&J Sass Electric. And Emerging Young Leader, Stephen Kennedy from Turn Up the Beat. Do you know Stephen?
Yep, I do. Yep.
Great kid. I think we talked about him last month.
Yeah, Cassidy Scanlon
He's
used to
not
work.
really a kid anymore, but, you know. I guess
Everybody's a kid to me at this point.
That's-
But yeah,
I think I'll always see him that way.
Cassidy Scanlon used to work for me and did a great job in Ulster County Tourism. They're married and just had a baby, I understand. So
Cutie patootie that he is. And then last but certainly not least, posthumously, the Len Kane Heart of Ulster County Award goes out to Tommy Keegan from Keegan Ales. So it's going to be a really special celebration. I know that tickets are selling quickly, which is exciting.
why don't you talk about if people want to purchase, what they need to do, how much, when, the time of the event, and all that good stuff.
So it's October 21st, and it starts at 5:30 p.m. At Diamond Mills. And you can go right onto our website, www.ulsterchamber.org, to purchase your tickets. You can get a table. I do believe we still have sponsorship opportunities. We've got some sponsors already. And if you're interested in sponsoring, you can reach out to the big guy, Ward at ulsterchamber.org, or give him a call at 338-5100. It's another big celebration of the talent and hard work that the people of Ulster County have and do.
Anything changed this year as far as how the dinner is going to be presented and the food and that, or anything because of COVID, anything that people should be aware of?
So we have to finalize those arrangements. The plan was most recently to have sort of some stations throughout the room so that people weren't in big lines and crowds, and really to have it be more of like a snacky kind of. There's going to be like a full dinner, but it's not like you're going and loading up a huge plate or being served. You can go to one station and sample some stuff and another and go back and get what you like. But it's going to be a little bit different, and hopefully that'll keep the whole evening sort of flowing so that it's a nice celebration.
Good. So I encourage people to go out. It's a really great evening, and I think particularly with Tommy Keegan being honored, the late Tommy Keegan Ales, it's going to be a real special evening. This is Rick Remsnyder with Jess Davis. Anybody want to call in? 331-9255. So what else have you been working on lately? Any videos or promoting places out there? Anything we should know of?
Gosh, there's so much going on. There's so many events happening right now. So we just got through the Hooli, and now we're talking about the Italian Festival. There's the Miles for Hope breast cancer walk run. There is the, I don't want to say it wrong, but there's the Burning of Kingston run that's going to be happening, which is pretty cool. These are all to support different organizations to fund the mission. The Bike for Cancer is coming up, right, this weekend. So many exciting things. So we've been really trying to get the message out of all of the different things that are happening and how people are running those events as we're moving back into in-person. I did eat dinner the other night at Dante's Pizza in Saugerties. I did it just delicious, and it was really, really good. It's a newer pizzeria that opened there in the plaza next to Town and Country Liquors.
Sure, I know where that is, yeah.
Yep, fantastic food. I had the Mama Rita's lasagna, and it was delicious.
Well, I would take that tip and run with it, because if I really need a little tip on where to dine, Just Delicious is my first text. So, well, that's good. So what was their specialty? Well, you said you had the...
The Mama Rita's lasagna. Well, it's interesting there because they do two styles of pizza. So they have like that traditional gas oven pizza.
Right.
And then there was already a brick oven in the building. So they brought that back to life. And so you can get the wood fire pizza and the traditional pizza there. So I sampled both, of course. I'm always willing to try food for.
It's all part of your research. You have to do this.
I'm a good citizen. And but the lasagna was wow. It was really good, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, the piece I was telling Carol, Carol Ricken, she's always looking for something so she doesn't have to cook, and $11 for this piece of lasagna that it would serve her 4 meals. It was huge.
Wow. Great portions then.
Yes. Yeah, really, really impressive. He's doing a great job out there, so check him out.
We wish the proprietors luck there. You're mentioning about all the events coming up. Of course, I had on Pat Pretorius, a public relations person from the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival. That's coming up in 2 weekends. I always found, and it just seems like the fall, as far as events, you have the Woodstock New Paltz Craft Fair, you have the Hooli, you have the Italian Fest, and all these other. It just seems like every weekend, and from like September to almost the middle of October, is jammed with things to do here in Ulster County.
And you almost have to wake up on a Saturday and think, wow, there's so many great things to do today. How will I get to them? There's so many great options. I was also at the veterans event at the Ulster County Fairgrounds, and the Hudson Valley Center for Veterans Reintegration. They put on a really nice event to honor those from 9/11. And then also the Boy Scouts were there, and different veterans were there, and we heard from County Executive Pat Ryan, and it was beautiful to be there. So you're right. You can run from one great event to the next, and the fall is a very busy time.
So a little birdie told me that you had a good turnout at the breakfast at the Best Western. Did I get that right? Best Western? Or is it Best Western Plus? Talk about that, and was that the first one back, or was there one previously in person?
That was the first one back. I think Ward said February of 2020.
Ooh.
And it was this past Tuesday. It was a little bit different, but it didn't look or feel much different. We did ask, we masked and until seated. But we had smaller groups at the tables, and we really used the size of the room to spread it out. And it was great. I pulled in and I thought, I had been going there so many times over the pandemic where it was just us in this empty room. And I realized as I was driving in that it was like a real breakfast again, and the energy was just in the room. It was really nice to see people. And we heard from the developers from the proposed Penrose project, which is the old Golden Hill Ulster County Jail site. And we heard from Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan about the proposed workforce housing project. And it was a great presentation. It was really nice to be back.
How many people did you have?
We had just around 100. We did have some walk-ins. Usually, we see 200, but we're comfortable with that number, with a smaller number right now. And we're going to continue to do those breakfasts while we feel it's safe to do so.
Have you scheduled the next one yet, or no?
It is October 13th, and that's a Wednesday morning, and we're going to be hearing from Mike Odato. I don't know his title by heart, so let me look it up on the website.
We're getting a little research done here by Jess Davis, and
I never know what Rick is going to ask me, and I don't prepare. I'm really,
Yeah, well, it makes it more interesting that way. We don't want it to be too boring.
Okay, Mike Oates, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mike Oates, yes.
President of the Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation, HVEDC.
Yeah, Mike's a great guy, yeah.
And that's on Wednesday, October 13th at 7:30 a.m. It's actually the venue uptown. which is at the Best Western.
Right. Okay.
It's tricky, Rick.
Yeah, I know. Well, Mike Oates is a tremendous official. I work with him when I was at Ulster Tourism, and people will get a good idea of what's going on with the economic development in the Hudson Valley. And he's a very entertaining speaker, so that should be a good one. And it will be non-political, so that's nice too, Yeah. I guess it's getting too close to the election to have. I know one of the things that I always found really interesting when Ward Todd would have some of the political opponents on the stage, and it was always a kind of a civil interaction. But I guess it's too close to the November 2nd election to go down that road right now. So. Anyway, it's we got about 5 more minutes, and we're here with Jess Davis. This is Rick Remsnyder, 331-9255. What else is happening?
Well, I think that's a lot. What do you think?
I have to say, Lawrence, that I think I just caught Jess. She's kind of can't answer that question. There's a lot happening. It's not a great question then. I should be more specific, right?
Yeah, call me out so I know like the date, the time, who's speaking. Catch me off guard. But I will tell you this, which is really exciting. The Ryan organization, Raising Your Awareness About Narcotics, they have purchased the home that they have been looking to buy.
Oh, yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So this will be a safe place for people that are battling addiction or in recovery to come to. It's called the Ryan House, and it's on Barclay Street on Route 9W in Saugerties, and we will be there tomorrow for a ribbon cutting, which is going to be a great celebration at 11:30 a.m. Most of the local officials will be there to speak. We're going to hear from Ryan's sister, Randy. I think if you don't know, if you're out there listening, Ryan, today is his birthday in heaven, but he passed away, and he battled addiction, and he had been in a long-term program and came home, and just days later he overdosed, and his family took the tragedy, the loss of his life to make change for other people. And that's how they came up with the organization. It's such a special organization. And so that's Vince Kelder, Carol Kelder, Randy Kelder. And so we'll be there tomorrow with them celebrating. I'm really excited about this ribbon cutting.
Yeah, that's a real tragic story, and they seem to be working off that to try to make some inroads in the community, and we wish them all the luck with that. Opioid addiction is such a prevalent problem here in the community and really nationwide. So hopefully that'll make a difference for people in the community. So one thing, what other restaurants are you looking at to feature in the upcoming weeks, months? Do you have anything on the docket?
I do. I will be featuring Crazy Bowls. So Dante's will air this Sunday. They always air on Sunday evening.
Crazy Bowls out by the Hudson Valley Mall?
Yep.
I've been there for a while.
It's fantastic. Jenny and Bing Young are the owners there. They're great community people. It's not a franchise where they started this. They have 2 locations. They're in New Paltz and here, but it's not a franchise. Although when you drive up or when you would walk inside when they had the doors open, you would think it was such a well-oiled machine that this was just something that was across the country. But really unique Asian, Mexican, like you can get a taco, you can get a curry sauce bowl, ramen, really, really fun stuff. So I'm excited to see what Jenny's whipping up. We're going to be going in behind the scenes and then taking the food home to try. So that's my next one lined up. And
yeah, that's interesting. I have been in there several times, and I always thought it was a franchise, Crazy Bowls, but it's not.
Nope, it's just their dream realized. It's really, really cool.
Well, I wish them all the luck in the world because, there's a wealth of eateries here in Ulster County, but, when you've been here as long as I have, you're always looking for something a little different and something a little newer. There's a lot of new restaurants that have opened in the last 5 years, and we need to get out there and support them. When people say, "Hey, are you going to so-and-so in Dutchess County?" I go, "No, why should I go to Dutchess County? We have so many great places to eat here in Ulster County. Buy local," as Ward always says.
That is the truth. And we have no shortage of great restaurants.
No question. Well, we have about a minute left. So it's been great having you, Jess, as always. What are you doing this weekend? Anything exciting?
So I'll be teaching cycle classes. I got 2 tomorrow, one at the Y, one on Zoom, and I'll be teaching a strength class called Bars and Bells on Sunday at IXL in Saugerties. And I should really do some stuff around the house.
I don't think she
And watch the Giants, of course.
No, I should do that too, but I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, this is dead. We'll talk about the Steelers next month.
Make a note.
All right, Jess, great seeing you. We'll see you in a month, and have a great weekend. And
I'll have a great weekend, too. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right, you've been a pleasure. I'll take a little break, and we're coming back to discuss the Brunel Sculpture Garden.
Listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
A powerful community bank is one that has leaders that are involved in their community. At Rondout Savings Bank, they invest in the success of our community by working side by side with local people and local businesses. When you choose to bank Rondout, you are part of a bank that is dedicated to the future of your success and the success of your community. Rondout Savings welcomes you to open an account today and discover what it means to be part of a powerful community bank, one that knows you by name. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community, with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park, also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're back, Lawrence. I'm very happy to introduce Cynthia Nikitin, who is the trustee for the Brunel Sculpture Garden, correct?
That is correct, Rick. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to see you. You know, one of the things I'm most proud of when I was working as a tourism director for 15 years is getting to know people like yourself and one of the wonderful property you have there and attraction. And I know there's a few people that watch this on YouTube. We were able to work with Cynthia in our advertising agency, which is now called Belo. And one of the nicest and brochures that we were able to produce with Cynthia's help is the guide to the sculptures and statues of the Brunel Sculpture Garden. I'm going to show a little picture of the brochure, and inside it has, I know it's got all kinds of all these sculptures that are on the property, and we were really happy to produce this, and we got to get you some more, right? You're running out?
Yeah, yeah, we are. Rick, that was a tremendous gift that you gave us. Our artist in residence at the time, Brian Paccioni, did all of the photographs and photographed all the sculptures. We wrote little descriptions, and they're all numbered. And what that allowed us to do is this brochure allowed us to stay open during COVID because we put them outside in a little box. And when people came, we just sort of told them to take a flyer, and it was a self-guided sculpture tour. So people could go, in their little clusters with their friends or with their dogs on a leash, and they could explore the garden without having to interact, with us. So we were able to keep the social distancing, keep people safe, at the same time that we were able to be open for the entire last year, all of, from May, Mother's Day 2020 up until today, we never had to close up. So thank you for that. That was an unexpected additional gift.
Well, it was my pleasure and our pleasure, and it's funny because the Route 28 corridor is always one of my favorite drives, and if people are, we're going to talk about the sculpture garden in a minute, but I always wondered when I drove up Route 28, I'd see this huge totem pole. And I said, what the heck is this thing? And I know that people, if you're looking for the Brunel Sculpture Garden, which is open to the public, you can tell me about the hours later. It's kind of hard to miss. Talk about in relation to that big totem pole on the right-hand side of Route 28 before you get into, how far out is it from Boyceville?
Oh, it's about less than a quarter of a mile.
Right. You can't miss it. So.
Yeah, you can't miss. We're sort of like on the main drag, but off the beaten path. And GPS sometimes sends you around the back to Brunel Drive, but we have an entrance up there as well. Yeah, so when you're driving west on Route 28, you see Steve Heller's Fabulous Furniture and Bread Alone and the Boyceville Inn and Caldwell Banker, and boom, then there you see the log cabin and the totem pole. And if you make that quick right onto Silver Road, there's a parking space just set aside for visitors right next to the log cabin. And then the tour kind of starts there and takes you up past the house up to the plateau in the back where most of the sculptures are. And when we bought the property in 1997 and, we saw the house and we just fell in love with it, and it was just a concrete house, in the middle of the woods. It was really kind of unusual on so many levels. And the real estate agent said, so what did you think about the giant sculptures in the backyard? And we're like, what sculptures in the backyard? We just fell in love with the house. We didn't realize that there were, 3 40-foot-high concrete statues and assorted small animal sculptures just up the hill. But we fell in love with those too. And we often say that it was the house that found us. Because my background is in public art and placemaking and working with communities around the country to create great public spaces in their towns. And so that's sort of what we're doing. We're creating a community public space on our land. And my husband is the head designer at Evergreen Architectural Arts and spends most of his days drawing, sketching the interiors for churches, cathedrals, monasteries, theaters across the United States. So he's involved in conservation and preservation and restoration as well. So it really is a good fit for us.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the sculptures, and you seems like you kind of stumbled upon this, but they are beautiful.
Yeah, they are quite whimsical. They are an homage to Native American culture, tradition, and lifeways, and they remind us of the people that first walked the land, the Lenni Lenape Native tribes. This was part of their migration and trading route, and actually our log cabin was designated, I don't know by whom, as an official authentic Indian trading post. And Emile Brunel, who was the one who bought the land in 1921 and built the sculptures pretty much by himself, we think, through the 1930s. He spent much of his time when he came here in the early 1900s out west, visiting with Native Americans, collecting and purchasing their wares and blankets and beads and leathers and handcrafts. And his granddaughter Gladys ran the shop, and I continue to run into people that remember shopping there for moccasins and leather goods and chatting with Gladys. So Emile Brunel was a photographer. He founded what is now the New York Institute of Photography in 1913. And he made his fortune in many ways, but what we are sure of that he ran a series of portrait photography studios in New York and Boston and Philadelphia. He took one of his students was Betty Davis's mother. Huh. And so we have photographs that Emile Brunel took of a very, very young Betty Davis. He also did the wedding portraits for Walt Disney and his wife. And there is a photograph of Franklin Roosevelt's dog, Thala. And it's a front and a side. It almost looks like, sort of a police photograph. So we're thinking that if the dog was lost, they would be using this to find the dog. So he knew a lot of people, and he
sounds like it.
was a fascinating guy. And he built the sculptures for his own amusement when he kind of retired from. He let his daughters run the photo studios, and then he spent 10, 12 years, building these monumental statues out of concrete, which is not an easy process.
When people go up and tour the property and see the statues and the totem poles, what's the typical reaction?
Well, what's interesting is even though we've been here for almost 25 years and the Brunel Park and the Sculpture Garden have been really open for 3, we are just so thrilled that we get more neighbors and people that say, I've been driving up and down this corridor for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, and I never knew what was up there, or I always wondered what was up there.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just being so pleased to be welcomed, to visit, to walk around, to actually see these amazing works of art, folk art, outsider art, self-taught art in this environment, kind of up close and personal. So that's sort of the thrill of discovery. A lot of people have told us that they feel the spiritual energy, in the land, and that's sort of our logo is walk the land, see the art, feel the spirit, spirit of the ancestors people talk about as well. And it's really, it's on Route 28, but once you're up sort of in the back and you hear the creek and the stream, it tends to have a very calming effect on people, we've noticed, especially small children.
Oh, good. Yeah, I kind of got that sense when I was there, visited you a couple times. This is Rick Ramsider with Cynthia Nikitin, who is a trustee and a Friends of Brunel Park. Let's talk about the organization a little bit.
Sure. Well, my husband and I feel that we are really stewards of this land. I mean, we own it, but in Native traditions, can't ever really own land. So we are stewarding it, for 7 generations. And the idea was to create a nonprofit organization that would give us a platform to be able to partner, more officially and formally with other organizations, with other community groups. It would also give us an opportunity to accept contributions and donations to help us raise money to restore and maintain the sculptures and the gardens that surround them. And it would also be a way for us to sort of announce to the public that we're open and we are running programs, and we welcome people with ideas for a workshop or a class or a lecture or anything that they might want to do there, to give us a call and let us know. We want to be a venue. We can't do all the programming ourselves, but we are open to ideas, and suggestions. So, for example, a well-known, well-loved local yoga teacher Kathy Carey, is running yoga classes on the property from 5:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday evenings. And she and a colleague are planning on doing a forest bathing yoga workshop on Saturday, October 16th at 10 in the morning.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for the forest bathing. So, we really are open to ideas for how people want to sort of experience our place and, the energy that they want to bring to it.
As I remember it, it's a nice space for something like that because I remember walking up the steps to your house, and then as you go a little bit further, you have the sculpture garden. Don't you have a little courtyard there where you can do things of that like that? And do you have benches or something like that too, as I recall?
Yeah, we have benches. That is our badminton court. Oh. We are badminton fanatics. If anybody is listening and loves to play badminton, definitely come by. We leave our rackets and our birdies out all the time because we're trying to build a culture of badminton players as well.
Oh, good.
So that is a court. We had a poetry reading there, series of poetry readings on August 1st with Ellen Parker, who she was a well-known soap opera star on I believe it was the Guiding Light, and she's been doing readings of audiobooks. And she won an audiophile award for her reading of Mary Austin's Land of Little Rain. And Brett Barry from Silver Hollow Audio brought her to Brunel Park, and she did a live reading.
Yeah, I know Brett. He's very talented.
Yeah, and we had Carla Brundage, our first BIPOC artist in residence, did a reading, and a local poet, Pina Russell, and then our dear friend Spirit of Thunderheart performed between the readings. And it was just a wonderful afternoon. We've had film screenings there by our former artist in residence, Brian Paccioni. He did a music video as part of his artist in residency here for the Pine Grove Band, and he's done some documentaries. So he did a film screening. We've had outdoor sculpture exhibits up there. We're doing the yoga there. So it's a really kind of flexible space. And, it can accommodate everyone. It's like we still have a bring your own chair policy. We can accommodate, about 30 or 40 people sort of in that space, kind of. If you sit in your little cluster 6 feet away from the next little cluster, it kind of works out. So we're hoping to do more kinds of events and things next spring, including a drum making workshop. And we have another artist in residence. She's a choreographer. She's going to come. She was going to come in October, but we postponed to the spring. She's doing a site-specific dance performance there on our land. And we're also going to be partnering, I think, with Next Stage Theater, which is a theater company in Putney, Vermont. And we're going to do an exchange with a playwright in residence at Brunel Park, who will then go back to Next Stage in Putney to do the performance.
How about if people are just taking a drive up 28? When are you open to the public if they just want to come up and take a look at the garden?
Yeah, it's kind of informal. At this point, we are going to build a kiosk. I usually put out the flyers, in the guest book and the donation box at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and bring it in at about 5. So we're open daily from 1 to 5.
Okay.
If people came by yesterday, they made it right between the incredible downpours and they ran away. If the weather is inclement, there's a foot of snow or ice on the ground,
Not open.
Not really open. Don't come. And if there's snow and you've got a really small dog, just wait a little while, But generally, and we're usually around if people do have questions or want to talk with us or, engage in a more sort of intimate way. We will do that.
Where is the information available on the website?
Yeah, our website is www.brunelpark.org, BRUNELPARK.org. We have an Instagram account, which is at Brunel Sculpture Garden, and we have a Facebook page, which is Brunel Park. So people can get information there. There's more about the history. There's more about the gardens, our event listing. We have a lot of videos that people can look at. We've got sort of a list of the garden plants, sort of what's in bloom in any particular season is also on the website. There's information about our artist in residency program, information on how people can support us if they would like to do that. And just opportunities to sign up and get on our mailing list so that we can contact you and let you know when we're doing another event or activity and just kind of keep you in the loop.
One thing, Cynthia, that, by the way, if anybody wants to call in, we still have 10 minutes or so. It's 331-9255. We're talking about the Brunel Sculpture Park. It's in Boyceville, is that right?
Yeah, it's in Boyceville. Mm-hmm.
One thing I've always noted is that, a lot of people come to Ulster County and they think that the hot spots, which are, there's a lot of hot spots, tourist attractions in Ulster County. You have, coming particularly from New York City, people get off in New Paltz, and there's a lot to do in New Paltz, city of Kingston. Now, Saugerties, we were talking about that earlier this morning, about the Hudson Valley Garlic Festival. Saugerties has become a pretty hot little town. But the one thing that I think sometimes gets overlooked is the area where you are. A lot of people, they'll take 28 and they'll see the sign, take the right at what's now called the Levon Helm Highway and go into Woodstock. But if you keep going, there's a lot going on in that corridor. I was very proud of the work that County Executive Mike Hine did to establish the Shokan Rail Trail. And then, of course, you have the Brunel Sculpture Park. And then beyond that, you mentioned Bread Alone and a lot of the Boyceville Inn. And then you're going up further. Talk about some of the things that you hear from people talking about what they've done when they come to that area when they see you, when they stop off and see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that section of Route 28 is designated as the Catskill Scenic Byway corridor.
I'm glad you mentioned that because my friend Robert Selkowitz has been hammering that home. I don't know if you know Robert.
Oh, yes, I do.
And I had Robert on the show 2 weeks ago, his 1905 auto
rally.
Rally, thank you, because I always want to call it a race, and it's not a race. But anyway, the Catskill Mountain Scenic Byway.
Yeah, there's that. Bread Alone is building an amazingly enormous new facility. They're doubling the size of their bakery and cafe, and it's going to be carbon neutral. Just completely, they're building a solar farm in the back. So Bread Alone is going to be, bigger and better than ever. But even in Shokan, you have Fruition Chocolate.
Yep. Let's not forget one of my favorite guys, Alex Stir with the Olive Country Store.
Olive Country Store.
Great place there.
That is a little gem. That is like the perfect little wonderful country store. You can get just about absolutely anything you want in there.
Yep.
And general stores are, they're few and far between. So Olives is quite wonderful. Veggie Oasis opened recently, run by my friend Amit, which has just amazingly delicious vegetarian, Middle Eastern, and Indian.
Where is that?
That is in the Winchell's Corners, where Winchell's Pizza used to be.
Okay.
And next to that they've reopened the antique store.
Oh,
so you could have lunch and look for antiques. And then go to Moose Crossing across the street. the Catskill Visitor Center is just past us a little ways, and they have a wonderful little small hike, and they have information, and they have a fire tower that you can climb up. It's open, I think, weekends until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's a really great way to get sort of oriented. And of course, the Emerson Resort and Spa is just a little bit past that road. So when people come, I tell them, all right, because our space is not that large. It's about 1.5 acres. Sometimes people spend 15 minutes. Sometimes they bring their lunch and they spend 1.5 hours. We've had a couple of Father's Day picnics there where a family, one part of the family came up from the south, another descended from Troy, and they landed in our place. People can come for 2 hours. And I say, okay, you're hungry, go to Bread Alone, take a walk on the rail trail, check out the visitor center, go buy some chocolate. Woodstock, schmudstock. I mean, I really think Olive is a lot more going on. We're quiet, we're subtle, but there's always the tennis courts at the high school are almost always available. There's like free tennis courts on your high school. So, I feel like we're a little undiscovered gem.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And, going up further, of course, you have what I like to call the iconic Phoenicia Diner, and then you're going on further up Route 28 and get into Phoenicia, and there's some new restaurants opening there. Do you have?
Don't forget the rail bike.
Rail Explorers.
The Rail Explorers.
Yes, of course. We had Mary Joy Lou on here, one of our first shows, and have you ever been on the?
Yes.
It's an amazing 2
wonderful.
hours, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as the weather is cooperating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be tricky.
Mary Joy had been after me. They've been open now, I don't know, 6-7 years, I like to think. And I was there we had a grand opening ceremony, and of course my former boss, Mike Hine, was there, and he took the ride. I never was on it until about last year. And promoting it all. What a great spot. Do you have some sort of? Have you been working with the Emerson at all on anything, or are you just kind of getting to know them?
Well, they've been really generous to us. They gave us a complimentary 1-year membership in the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got to work with Jess Davis, who was your host, your previous guest.
Yep.
They also had their photographer do some wonderful photographs for us of the sculpture, and they shot a beautiful 3-minute video, which they actually have on their website.
On the Emerson website?
On the Emerson website. And we're the place they send their guests when their guests arrive before check-in time.
Oh, great.
So it's like, it's 2 o'clock, your room's not ready, go to Brunel Sculpture Garden, get a coffee, and your room will be ready. So
Great idea.
We're happy, and also guests that come to the Emerson, they send them to us to spend a little time, visiting here as well. So they've just been a wonderful partner. We feel like they've adopted us, to a certain extent. We've also started to make connections to the Al Held Foundation. Al Held was a very well-known abstract painter, very popular in the 60s and 70s. He bought an old dairy farm just right a mile from us off of Route 28, back in the early 90s. And now there is a foundation there which has gallery space, tours, exhibits. You can see his studio. You can see the amazing way he has arranged for his giant canvases to move from one part of the building to another. So we're hoping to partner with the Al Held Foundation on some artists in residence kinds of projects coming up. So they're open by appointment. You have to make an appointment. But
Cynthia, it's hard to believe we've gone through almost the entire half hour. I want to thank Cynthia Nikitin, for the trustee of the Brunel Friends of the Brunel Park, for coming in. It was. I can't encourage people enough to come up and visit you, get in touch with Cynthia and go on the website, and you have a wonderful tourist attraction there. It was always my pleasure working with you, and continued success.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. And
come back again. We'll have you on, and you can tell us about all your programs.
All right. I would love to do that. that would be a real pleasure.
Okay. Lawrence, we've come to the end. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful fall weekend.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
sunny out.
Yeah, the weather looks great for the weekend. The sun's actually coming out right now.
And I'll be on the golf course in 20 minutes.
Hopefully it won't be too wet out there. I woke up this morning to a lot of. It looks like we had quite a bit of rain last night.
Yeah, no, we did. So, it could be a little soggy, so my drives won't be going as far. But, oh well.
It is what it is, right? All right, well, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll be back Monday with Medical Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone.